Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Basic Education MEC Dr. Reginah Mhaule is on a 2-day oversight visit to the John Taolo Gaetsewe District Municipality in the Northern Cape. She's checking on what measures have been put in place at schools to minimize the risk of new COVID-19 infections. Our reporter Motlalepule Morake is following the story and we cross live to her now. Motlalepule, a very good morning to you. What's the MEC saying today?
Good morning, Desiree, and good morning to our viewers. Indeed, we are coming to you live from Mhaule High School in Motibistad, where the Deputy Minister of Basic Education, Reginah Mhaule, is on a 2-day visit this side just to check if everything is going well with regard to the compliance of COVID-19 and lockdown regulations in all the schools in this area. If you know, John Taolo Gaetsewe is one of the most rural areas in the province, and most of the schools do not have resources. But I am, without any waste of time, I am going to invite the Deputy Minister herself, Reginah Mhaule, just to tell us about her visit this side. Deputy Minister, thank you very much for joining us. Can you just tell us, why are you in this area today?
I'm visiting Northern Cape as a province just to check on the report that we get from the MEC and the department that schools are running and the grade 12s are supported, and that the COVID-19 will not affect performance. So I've come here to visit some schools and get a sense that is there teaching and learning taking place, are there support mechanisms for the learners and the support for grade 12. So from what I've seen now, I'm satisfied, because the report that I got from the district director indicated that there is schooling and there are so minor challenges that are reported. Generally, things are fine in the JDG district.
Deputy Minister, how many schools do you aim to visit? We understand that your visit is for 2 days this side.
Yeah, I cannot visit all the schools. That's why I have the second manager who will tell me about all the 22 schools in the area. So to me, that tells that I visited all 22 schools. But the schools that I will physically visit in the area are 4, so that I get an in-depth. And that's why I'm visiting both primary and secondary schools to get exactly what is happening in those schools.
And the Deputy Minister, we understand that from yesterday, those teachers who have comorbidities conditions, from yesterday they've been expected at schools. What are you going to do with those teachers that you hired on temporary measures?
We still need teachers on temporary measures, because remember, the way we have we are applying the differentiated approach in our schools, it tells that we need more teachers. We may not have sufficient resources to employ more teachers, but remember, if the class had 40 learners, now the class will have 20 learners. Then even if the teachers with comorbidities are coming back, we'll still need them. No teacher will be chased, those that have already been appointed.
Earlier on, teachers' unions made a call that you must actually absorb some of those teachers in a permanent basis. Will you be able to do that as the department?
Depending upon the vacancies and the resources. Remember, we don't have sufficient budget to can employ many teachers. But in the event where there are resources in the province to appoint, those teachers will automatically be absorbed. If a teacher is teaching the key subject that does not have a teacher, then they will be absorbed. But not all of them will be absorbed. Some will maintain the temporary status until such time where we have sufficient resources.
And then, Deputy Minister, as a last question, there are other schools, not only in the Northern Cape, that still struggle with resources like ablution facilities and water. We understand that the department has tried to make sure that during this lockdown, they make sure that there are JoJo tanks so that schools are supplied with water. Is there a plan to make sure that all the schools in the country do have sufficient, efficient water supply and ablution facilities?
We cannot make that undertaking that all schools will have sufficient water, but we will, as education, try to make sure that schools have water, like the supply of water tankers. We are working with municipalities. Remember, as the department, we are not a water service authority. The water service authority lies with municipalities. So now we have established a close working relationship with the municipality that they supply water to our schools. And we have a challenge that in some other areas, the community does not have water. So it will be practically impossible to get water, the bulk source, straight to a school if the community doesn't have water. So that's why we'll send a water tanker to deliver to a school. But that also poses a challenge because the community, if they don't have water, they come to the school to tap and to source water from the school. But we are working with the Department of Cocta nationally. We're working with Department of Water and Sanitation to make sure that we bring water to our communities so that our schools will have sufficient water.
Thank you very much, Deputy Minister. Deputy Minister Reginah Mhaule, committing that they are working together with the municipalities to ensure that all the schools do have constant water supply. I am now going to invite our new education MEC in the province, Mr. Zolile Munakaladi. Sir, congratulations on your new appointment. Can you just tell us, we now understand that all the grades have now been accepted in the school. How are things going here in the province?
Thanks, ma'am. Yes, we have accepted all the grades back to our schools, and all the schools are having strategies in place to make sure we still observe the protocols of the COVID, making sure that the distancing is there, social distancing, hygiene, washing the hands, sanitizing, and we make sure that the capacity of the classrooms are taken into consideration in accommodating the learners back.
And then have the Department of Education devised some program to make sure that all the time lost will be covered before the end of this academic year?
Definitely, ma'am. The department has implemented some interventions in all the districts in the province. We made sure that during the lockdown period there were interventions. Learners were receiving assistance through the social media, through other gadgets, and especially there were intervention programs for our matriculants. We are currently planning to have interventions with our matriculants to make sure we improve our results. We are going to have spring classes, extended spring classes. We are planning camps to make sure that the outstanding work that could not be done during the period will be done, and they will catch up to make sure we improve our results.
Thank you very much. That was MEC for Education in the Northern Cape, just outlining their plan as the department, how to make sure that the time that has been lost due to national lockdown has been recovered. Desiree, the Deputy Minister will be completing her visit here in this district tomorrow, where she will be visiting 2 schools at Katu. With that, is back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much, Motlalepule. You're watching The Agenda. Let's take a break.